Howdy folks, I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. Our first story is titled, Am I a Jerk for Saying No When My Family Said I Should Let My Sister Have Her Honeymoon at My House? Backstory, my house used to belong to my parents, but they sold it to me in 2017. It had been my family vacation home of sorts. Every couple of years when my grandparents were alive, they'd invite us kids up there for a week. Fast forward to the end of 2016. My sister got accepted into her dream college. Won't say which, but it's a big one. Everyone was excited and proud of her. Me too. But a week after that, my parents called asking if I'd found a house yet. I was looking for one and my family knew it. I've been saving up since I started my first job at 20. I said no, so my dad suggested that I buy the lake house from them. I asked them why they wanted to sell it. Turns out Sis didn't have any savings for college and didn't get some scholarship that she'd been planning on. And our parents couldn't afford to pay for everything either. I asked her why she didn't get student loans and they said they didn't want her ruining her credit. So their solution was to sell the lake house and use the money from that to finance their college. I had lots of good memories from the lake house, so I eventually agreed. I work via computer, so after getting a good internet connection out there, I moved right in, and I've been there since. My girlfriend moved in permanently last year before lockdown, and it's been pretty blissful. In 2019, my sister and her college boyfriend got engaged. Parents agreed to pay for her wedding, but like with every other wedding around, things got set back. Sis had to postpone her wedding until this year. She plans to have it in December. I even agreed to be in the bridal party. The issue came up recently when my sister asked me where I was going to stay for the 2 weeks after her wedding. Puzzled, I answered, "My house?" She got a sour look and said that wouldn't work. Her and her fiancé would be there and they wanted to have some private time. I asked why they'd be at my house, and she said that's where they were having their honeymoon. 2 weeks alone at the lake house. I said that was news to me. She insisted our parents said it was fine, but I said it wasn't their place to make decisions about my house. After arguing, she called her parents, who said I was being unreasonable. I said I didn't want my sister and her fiancé christening their new union by doing that in my house. They said I was being gross and selfish. I said no again, so sister threatened to remove me from the bridal party. I just shrugged and said okay. She started crying, saying she already couldn't have her dream wedding like she wanted, and now I was trying to ruin her honeymoon too. I told her to rent a hotel like every other newlywed couple, and then hung up. She's not speaking to me, and I'm uninvited to the wedding. Our parents keep calling me and saying I should do this for her since her wedding is only 1/3 of what she wanted it to be. But I'm not comfortable with them staying unsupervised at my house. They're making me feel like a monster for saying no. Am I a jerk? Edit. Well, learned something new today. I spoke to my sister, like a few people suggested, and asked her if she knew that the house was legally my house. As in, I bought it years ago. She was in fact not aware of this. She was under the impression from our parents that they were letting me live there rent-free. I corrected her and even showed her proof that they sold me the house. And when she asked why they sold it, I was honest and said it was to pay for her college, tuition, and lifestyle. She became quiet after that, and we soon hung up. No idea what's going to happen now. Alright, OP. I mean, no, of course you're not the jerk, and it sounds like your sister's not even the jerk in this situation. Who really is the jerk in this situation? If I had to point a finger, there could possibly be someone who would shoulder blame in this situation, but who? But who could shoulder such blame? The parents. The parents are to blame here. They raised you badly, and now they want their revenge. No, I'm just kidding, of course, but the thing is, like, the parents here have been telling your sister a lie for years that you've been living in this place rent-free, and she probably just assumed, oh, my sister's been living here rent-free, she can go and find some place for a few weeks to live, and from her perspective, probably would have been a reasonable assumption. Like, oh, yeah, my sister isn't going to have any problem, like, giving up her home for a few weeks. She's just living there rent-free, and the parents said that I could. So the parents who, sowed this lie and essentially to cover up the fact that they sold it to you, I think that's just plain gross. I think that they I don't know, did they just not want her to feel bad about them selling it to you so that they would not, I don't know, like, so that they didn't have to admit that they didn't have the money for college? Who really knows? I mean, the thing that seems weird to me in this situation is, where did your sister think that money miraculously came from? Did she just think it just magicked its way into existence? Yeah, I have no idea. So, yeah, and OP, I don't think that you're the jerk in the situation. I think your parents are pretty much here to blame. So, yeah, take care and good luck. I don't know if it's just me, but the favoritism is shining brighter than the sun. Not the jerk, and your sister is crazy for expecting that before even confirming with you. It's definitely not you. I could see the favoritism shining from a mile away. Very easy to see who the golden child is here. OP, not the jerk. It's your home, so your parents and your sister have absolutely no say whatsoever on who can stay there without consulting the person who owns the property. They sold it to you, so it's no longer the family/holiday lake house. It's your house. They don't get to take the money from the sale and still dictate who can and can't use it. That's not how selling a house works at all. Period. Not the jerk. They don't have the money to cover for her education to the point of selling a house, but they do for her wedding. She doesn't get to guilt you for already not having her dream wedding because she chose to get married at a time in which she still depends on her parents. What she needs is a reality check, not a wedding. Until your parents stop treating her like the little princess, she's going to be a lost cause, which is why you don't have to take any responsibility for. And OP replies, I actually worry about this a lot. I wonder how she's going to survive after her parents pass away, because they're not young anymore. They're getting old, and once they're gone, I'm not taking their place to coddle her. Alright, our next story is titled, Am I the Jerk? Dad gave the business to brother, so I left. My older brother, a 30-year-old male, went to university and then worked in the city as an accountant. I'm a 27-year-old male, and I started to work for my dad as a plumber at 15 and went to college to get my qualification in plumbing and gas. About the time COVID started, my brother moved back from the city and started working for my dad, a 55-year-old male in accounting. My dad has been unwell for the last 4 years due to asbestos. It has always been really hard on the family, and he's getting worse, but still loving life. I have been running the business for the last 2 years, and we've expanded and now have 50 vans in the fleet and 1 qualified and 1 trainee allocated to each van, so it was hard in the beginning, but we have bounced back. My dad still works on tools with me on Fridays, half day back to my place for some beers. Friday is the only day I'm on tools now, and I've been doing everything to run the business. Well, last month he told the family that he's stepping down from the business due to health, and he wants to spend more time with my mother, and is giving the business to my brother, and for me to step down from acting CEO. This upset me because I've been with the business for 12 years. At the beginning, it was really only me and my dad, and my brother never wanted to be in the business and said it was not worth his time, and now he's the boss and I've been dumped back to heating engineer with a £20,000 pay cut. He doesn't have any clue what we do or how we do it. I spoke to my dad and he told me that the brother deserves it for all he has done, that he has a family and I don't, and that he went to university. A lot of the workers are upset about the decision and have told me that they will go where I go. I told Dad that if that's how he feels, then I will leave and start my own business, and I have not spoken to my dad or brother since, and have told them never to contact me. For the last month, I've had thousands of calls and messages from the family saying some very hurtful things and telling me that I'm ungrateful for what I have done. So, am I the jerk? Edit. I want to say thank you for everyone for your kind words. There are so many replies. I will do my best to thank all of you. To hear my father tell me in his own way that he doesn't think I'm good enough was hard, and for my family to take his and my brother's side was even harder. In the morning, I will contact the large clients I've worked with over the last 6 years. I know we've had some site postponed due to COVID, big money, and will try to take them over as I have 20 of my colleagues wishing to come work for me, and I've saved nearly all the money I've earned over the last 12 years, so I think I have enough to get myself on my feet. Update, I want to inform everyone that I'm not starting a business to destroy my brother. As much as I've spent almost 13 years to build it, and I don't want to see anyone out of a job for the business to die, and it's about 5 o'clock in the morning in England, you all have helped so much. I will be going out to talk to my father around 8 and take him out for breakfast and a talk. I'm not sure if I will get a proper answer from him, but I love my family and want my future kids to know them. I will update after events later today. Upvoted to, as I said in one of the comments, I believe my family found my post and they did. This morning, when I arrived at my parents' house, my mom opened the door and looked like she had been crying a lot, and my dad came over to talk to me, and we went out to breakfast. He didn't say a word on the way there or when we arrived. When, on the way back, he asked if we could pull over and talk, I can honestly say that this was the first time I saw my dad cry. I asked why he did this to me. He said he doesn't know, I keep pushing, and he finally told me that he owed it to my brother for not being around for him as much as me when we were growing up, and that there were times my brother needed him, but we were working. I couldn't believe it. After 12 years of hard working, this was his reasoning. I told my father that I spent all of my life working to do everything for the business, and how he throws me to the side just because his son came back hurt more than I could explain. He told me he knows, as they had been shown the post I put up. To my surprise, he wasn't mad and he seems remorseful. He told me my mother has been in pieces after reading the comments about how bad she treated me and thinks I will never talk to them again. My dad told me after reading it, he realized that I should have split the business between us, as it will need both of us to keep progressing, and apologizes to me for never telling me how proud he was of everything I've done, and thought how I knew he was proud. But my brother has full control of my father and has no say, and my brother would never go 50-50. He told me that he wants to go back to my brother and will need me, and I told him that's not my problem anymore after they demoted me and cut my pay, and I tried to work for 3 weeks, but my brother wouldn't listen to me and didn't believe I knew what I was talking about, and telling me how he knew to run a business. My dad broke down and said that he had destroyed the family and should never have done what he did, and didn't understand why it took this long to realize that I was a valuable piece in the company. Will update later. Need to think. Alright, OP, so those edits are quite long, and that brings in a lot of additional information, and it sounds like the issues here are probably going to be mostly resolved. You know, I don't think that you're the jerk in this situation, and I don't think that you're a jerk for wanting to start your own business, and I think that it's good that in this particular case, this post was seen by the right people and was able to help to bring, resolution to this situation. Splitting the business 50-50 is probably going to be for the best, but it also might even be harder because if your brother, thinks he knows what he's doing and he has no idea, then him being, co-CEO of this business is probably going to be very difficult. It sounds like you've been running the business for 2 years, so to me it seems a little odd that your dad would choose to put your brother in charge even after all of the work that you've done. So I can understand certainly why this was so hurtful, and I can understand why you had such a hard time with this. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, so when we left off yesterday, this hadn't been updated, so I'm just going to read update 3. You'll notice I'm wearing a different color shirt, so that's why. So, here's update 3. As I said, I had a couple of Zoom calls with some clients today, and they have gone very well. I have been informed that they will all be sending sign proposal letters for the up-and-coming work. Lucky the start dates didn't clash, and that was one of the main things I was worried about. 3 of my colleagues now have left the business and have spoken to my dad, informing them about why they left and that they will be coming to work with me under their own choice. To hear them all tell me that meant a lot. They all have between 5 and 10 years more experience in the industry. At the moment, I have all we need to start a new business with 3 vans that I own and tools I have built up over the years. I'm looking forward to the new venture in my life and can't wait to share this with my children when I have them. Then I received a call from my father asking me to come over for dinner. I was unsure at first, but I thought it was probably a step in the right direction. On arrival, the whole family was there. I went in and the atmosphere dropped and my mom wouldn't look at me and my brother just sat there acting as if I didn't exist. My dad came and asked me and my brother to come to his office. He started to ask when I was going to come back to the company as they needed me in on early morning Monday. I could not even believe what I was hearing. I told them both that I'm not coming back and I've started my own company. And what does he mean? You gave the business to him, my brother. My brother started to lose his temper, telling me that if I cared about the company, why would I leave? I have some very choice words before telling them that I have always cared for the company and spent 12 years of my life working to make it successful. Unlike him, who swoops in and takes all the glory, that I will not sit there and be treated like that. I told my brother to F off so I could talk to Dad. I asked why he asked me in this morning. Was it all about him telling me sorry, but then he expects me to go running back? He couldn't even look me in the eyes, so I left and said goodbye to my cousin, nieces, nephews, and walked out. I've been writing for about 3 hours, on and off, coming back here to talk to people. I just wanted to say thank you everyone for the personal messages, comments, rewards, and all the kind words of encouragement. I'll try to message everyone, but I'm exhausted and will most likely fall asleep. Well, OP, I mean, it sounds like you've gotten a business up and running. It sounds like you have everything handled and taken care of, and it sounds like you have people who are coming to work for you. And I mean, it's unfortunate that this is what happened here. But it's just, one of those things where, if the brother is going to be successful, then, I mean, he needs to be able to deal with, adversity like this and, work and help build the business up. I mean, you helped to build this business with your, sweat and tears, and it sounds like your brother's basically done nothing. So, I mean, he's left with, basically what he deserves, I guess. I mean, it's not like the family business is actually gone. The family business still lives on with you, your legacy. I mean, you've built this, and these people want to come and work for you. The idea of the business is just a business. It's not worth anything if it doesn't have, the competent leadership. And they don't believe in your brother's leadership. You even gave it 3 weeks. And you still just did not get the results that you were looking for. So, no, you're still not the jerk even with this update, even with starting a new business and moving on. So, yeah, anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video with the additional updates here. And I just figured I wanted to stay on top of that and get it all read and so that you would have the full story. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider giving it a like. If you didn't, consider giving it a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.